Where's that button there? There we go. Hello and welcome to episode 300 of the Let's Play This Game podcast for the 27th of May 2024. As always, joined by one and only Steve Francis. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. There's only one of me, because if there were any more, god damn it, what would the world be?
That would be a very... no, I'll keep my comment to myself.
Hey, you wouldn't be the first, you won't be the last to say shit on that level.
How are you? You doing well?
Yeah, alright, eh? Yeah, alright.
Did you try and read that?
Oh yeah, how about you?
I'm good, thank you.
Social protocols and shit, fuck.
I'm good. Did you try and reach out to Mike?
No.
Of course you didn't. Why would you? Why would you? Seriously. It's a good
Wait,
thing
did you?
No!
Get the fuck out of here!
I've been here the whole time.
What the fuck?
You would not have believed the effort it took me to hide that from you.
Oh my god! What?
We've been doing test calls and shit earlier today.
Holy
I set this up.
Wait, is Paul here too?
No, I did reach out to Paul. He did pass on his congratulations on 300, but no, he wasn't able to make it. But I did reach out to him, but yes. But no.
God damn it.
No, I set this up with Mike last year at PAX. Said we're having 300 coming up.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I mentioned it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, said we're coming to 300.
Holy shit!
And then about a month ago, I reached out again to remind, just to catch up, and yeah.
Man,
We actually it was a really funny thing because of that delay that I had because I had that family stuff. Actually worked out well because if we had the episode last week like we should have been. Mike, I think you were doing a marathon or something, or a half marathon or something?
Yeah, no, it's the Great Ocean Road half marathon. So I spent 2 hours running on a coastal road in the rain and the wind, and it was pretty rough.
So if you had hit last week,
like
you
Jesus Christ.
wouldn't have been able to make it. So this everything's lined up really well. So welcome to the show, Michael. This is a bit different for you when you left.
Yeah. Some parts of this look and feel very similar, but hey, congrats to the two of you on getting up to 300. God, when Paul left and then I eventually stepped away, like I don't know, I kind of just assumed it would eventually kind of just like drift away and over the horizon, but you guys have just kept going. So hats off to the two of you.
I got nothing going on.
Yeah, fair enough.
So some background for everybody else. We started this show, actually Mike reached out on the Giant Bomb forums.
Yes, sir.
Back in 2014. I don't know when the exact post you put on. We put it in from mid that year or something.
God,
fucking hell.
And the first episode was in July of 2014.
Mm-hmm.
We first did the first one. And then I think it was episode 71 or so, May 2016, that both you and Paul bowed out. And then
thinking back on it now, I can't exactly remember what it was. I just had some life shit going on. You know how it is.
Was just, I think it was a time
adult.
thing. It was for both you and Paul. It was just time.
Yeah, I think it was just.
Yeah. There was also like around the time that I was getting out of a pretty toxic relationship. So like, hey, we all learn, we all grow.
All right. I'm not going to make a Beyonce reference then. Good to know. Good for you said that early. Shit.
Yeah, but good for me. I figured it out.
I was raring up to... Never mind. Let's move on. Fuck. I could have gone really awkwardly.
So the other thing to do, just on Paul, he's not doing Readapt anymore. He basically... He pulled the pin on that due to it just wasn't working in the mental health and all that kind of stuff of going down. It was just too much. But he's now working for, I think he said he's working for NAB, I think. He says he was. So he's working as some sort of engineer of some sort with NAB. I think it was NAB, he said.
That's so funny because I am also a software engineer for a bank. A different bank. So he and I guess, are technically competitors now.
I guess so, yeah.
I was going to say bank beef.
Yeah. I'm not about to start bank beef, man. Banks are already
come on,
competitive enough.
Start some shit.
No, I really, really cannot stress to you how not allowed I am to speak on behalf of my employer.
Fair enough.
I'm in the same boat because
Yeah.
who I work for as well. We work for companies
more
as far as it goes for.
Anyway, fucking hell, holy shit. I'm like still thrown a little bit. I'm like, holy fuck, man, you like kept that under wraps hard. Yeah. It was like, yo, just make sure you fight. Like, you didn't say shit that could have given this away.
No, it's been very hard.
Here I was like, oh, it'd be really funny, ha ha ha. We'll like send the messages, and then it'd be like,
I thought it was
funny. They both said
I was really hoping
off.
you'd do your accent trick again. I was going to ask Mike for his opinion of it, but he didn't do it.
What are you talking about, bro? It's fucking bullshit, eh? That's fucking super dope, bro. My name's Mike. It's all good, eh? It'll turn South African soon enough if I leave it. So let's fuck.
What do you mean turn?
Oh, come on, man. It's not bad. As long as you say
it's pretty bad.
As us. Yeah, I mean, look. It's hard to be good at accents when you don't really leave the house and don't really engage. Well, moving on. All right, man. So you playing anything other than Destiny or what?
Yeah, what are you playing, Mike?
Look, yes, still deep in that hole, but at the moment, I think I've put probably seven. Hang on. I'm just choking. Fucking hell.
Oh, nice.
The motion's got to.
The secret happened, and then we killed him on killed him on camera because he couldn't breathe. Oh shit!
No, apologies to your audio track there. I just was eating something before you piped me into the call, and that's just stuck in my throat. What was I trying to say? Yeah, I've put 70 hours into Balatro.
Yeah,
like a sicko.
It's hilarious. Every time a Steam notification comes up for what you're doing, it's either Destiny 2 or Balatro. It's fucking hilarious. I'm pissed at you because you've got the $400 achievement, which I haven't had yet. And I think you finished a gold run, which I haven't been able to swing.
That was really hard to... That top difficulty level is no joke, dude.
You have to get just the perfect jokers falling into place at just the right time.
So it's funny you say that. I don't know how deep you guys into the mechanics of Balatro. So I
played about 90 hours.
Okay, so I specifically targeted the blue deck and just grinded that because that's the one that gives you an extra hand from the start. I was like, just keep it simple. More hands means more points, right?
Yep.
And before the first big patch after release, there was a combo you could do with... I think it's the one that turns all your face cards gold and the vampire, which strips enhancements and boosts the multiplier. And they were tuning that down in the patch, but I got it the day before the patch. I got that run to come together on the gold difficulty, and I think I got the vampire up to and so there's another guy you can get that turns all your cards into face cards, and it just gets ridiculous. I had that combo going. And got the vampire. The vampire was up to a times 48 multiplier. Yeah.
I'm sitting there every time I get the one where you add 0.25 to your multiplier when you skip, I'm like, thank fuck for that. And
that only gets you so far.
Because I'm sitting on I'm the second highest, and I'm sitting with the heart and spade deck, trying to just build a flush. Build.
Yeah.
And I've gotten close. I've gotten to that last boss blind a couple times on it, and I just run out of steam. I'm like, ah!
Yeah. If you want another bit of tech, I think it's the anaglyph deck. Whenever you beat a boss, it gives you a double tag.
Oh,
so what you want to do is stack about 6 of those, and then if you see a blind come up that says if you skip it, the next Joker is negative, and it will copy it for each one of those double tags, and then you end up with 13 Jokers, and all bets are off at that point. Anything basically works. It's so dumb.
I just target fixated on flush builds, and just because I played it for 90 hours, I'm like, I need to play something else because this is just all my head in, and there's fucking nearly 40 games in my current backlog, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
man,
I think I've declared backlog amnesty at this point. I have Steam set to only show me stuff that's installed. Otherwise, I get scared.
yeah, I've got like 40 installed games in my backlog folder.
Okay, uninstall something. That'll help.
Yeah, it will.
But yeah,
I'm gonna start Dragon's Dogma 2 in the holidays.
Dude, that is on my list, but I'm currently like also very deep in the latest Diablo 4 season because they've given that game a huge overhaul. And it feels a lot closer to where Diablo 3 got to, just in terms of like the reward cycle and like how quickly you're getting stuff as you're going, and you're getting upgrades and new gear, and like the season objectives keep it all like just the wheel keeps spinning.
Yeah,
it's very satisfying.
Yeah, I've been very keen to get into that myself because all the stuff I read about it just is they might have got it back to, as you said, where the Diablo 3 left off or finished off.
Yeah, like they've tried some stuff over the course of the last couple of seasons that was pretty interesting, just in terms of like different season mechanics that go away after the season. But this one is just called like Season of the Loot Reborn or something like and it's basically just itemization is overhauled across the board, not just for the season, but for like what they call the Eternal Realm, which is a character that's not a seasonal character. So yeah, there's a ton of shit in there that I'm just like working my way through. I think I'm already at like got my character up to like level 766 or something already. It's only been out for like a week or two.
I was gonna say it's only been a couple of weeks. Like I was going hard at it pre-season 1, trying to hit level 100, and that once you hit those what are they called, the boards?
Paragon boards.
That's the one, Paragon boards, and it just takes so fucking long to just, or it did take massively long periods of time to level up, and it was
you should go back to it now. It's real fast. And like you get 4 Paragon points within a level. Like there's checkpoints before you hit a full level up. And I'm getting those like pretty quickly at this point.
Fuck,
it's really streamlined. Because you did mention Destiny 2. Like I am still playing that pretty regularly, but not much for the last like few months, just because like they pushed back the release of Final Shape by 4 or 5 months, and they've done some stuff content wise to kind of fill the gap, but it's not been a huge draw for me. And it's also it's a good time to it's a good excuse to just go and like play some other stuff. And
are you still doing the Eric Code Blueberry podcast?
Yeah, we just hit episode like 91 on that. So shout out to Eric Code Blueberry, a Destiny specific gaming podcast that I do. We're
remember when you used to shit talk my love of Destiny?
Yeah, dude, I'm a full blown sicko now for that game. The trick for me was like, quite honestly, like when I used to be on this show, like I was playing Destiny largely solo, and like that only gets you so much out of a game like that. And the turning point for me was quite honestly COVID. Like I had a group of friends who were playing it on PC. We're all just like deep in Discord. Just about every day we were in there for at least a couple of hours, just like doing shit. And that kind of like pulled me all the way into that game. Like bought it on PC, fully migrated off playing on the PlayStation, and then we're doing at least one raid a week during the height of lockdowns and people not being able to work and all that stuff. So it was like peak Destiny. And now it's kind of like, as we're able to go and do stuff again, and there's other games, like it's kind of drop back a bit. But no, I still have a deep appreciation for that franchise.
So, like, talk about Eric Code Blueberry a little bit, because like I've caught bits and pieces on YouTube from time to time. Is it, like you said, it's Destiny specific? Do you ever talk about any other games, or is it purely just Destiny?
No, it's like we try to focus on. So like, I mean, pulling apart the name a little bit, like Destiny has a ton of different like error codes that will pop up whenever the game has issues. And like, Blueberry is one of them. Like it's just like a general network error. Like it doesn't mean anything. But people in the game that are not in your fire team are often referred to as blueberries because they show up as a blue dot on your radar.
Okay.
So if someone is doing some dumb shit in a strike, commonly you just be like, fucking blueberries. Like, what are they doing? So we're like, that's a good fun name for the show, but we try to focus more on like how it, like the sort of culture around the show, like more the community side of things, more like we're approaching it with an appreciation of like the lore and the world building and the characters and also just like how we approach the game. We definitely talk about like how the game feels to play and like what is happening and coming up, but it was mostly born out of like myself and Meki, my co-host, like just talking about the story, and like this was when we were playing like very, very, very heavily.
Yeah.
And we were just be like talking about stuff, and then we're like, there might be something here in terms of like most Destiny content is like your classic weekly news roundup, build crafting videos, and then like people doing dungeons and raids, and it's like, okay, that's all catering more towards like sweaty gamers. It's like, okay, but what about the more, I don't know, cozy-minded Destiny player, if you will? So yeah, we try to strike that line because like I still have that mind for systems and build crafting and all that sort of stuff, but we also try to hit the other side of it as well because it's such a huge part of that world.
Yeah. How often is that hitting the old YouTubes and stuff? Is that a weekly or is that fortnightly? How often?
So yeah, we try to like ideally weekly, but we also like we would say to anyone that plays the game with us, like, look, life comes first. If we can't make it work that week, we just don't. Like we're not going to force ourselves to put something out on a rush, or like there's been weeks where honestly, especially with this like delay of Final Shape, there hasn't been a lot to talk about. So we just went, let's not try to force it when it's a quiet week or we're not feeling up to it. So we try to live by that mantra of like, look, life stuff comes first, and also like if we can't find a reason to get excited about talking about it this week, let's not try and fake that. And because we also try to like, what's the right way to put this? We try to remain positive on the show. And by that I mean so much of online content about Destiny it's boom or bust, right? It's either this expansion is fucking sick, or it's people going like, Bungie, you guys suck, like blah blah blah. So we just want to like keep that fully out of it. So that's why if we can't find stuff to like have a positive energy about and talk about for like 30
or at least
constructive, 30 minutes to an hour.
Constructive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like we'll get in there and like critique community sentiment if we think it's coming from a bad place, but we're not ever going to like just shit talk the developers. Like, yeah, we talked about the Lightfall story and how like stuff that was released in the seasons after that could have been more neatly tied into the actual campaign story, and like that's pretty common criticism at this point. But we also looked at it and went like, yeah, but they're trying different things, and we can appreciate it for what it is, you know?
Yeah. Man, a fucking podcast focusing on a single game, man. Fuck me.
Yeah, well, you'd be surprised. There's a ton of shit to talk about with Destiny.
Like, all you have to do is boot up Twitch, and you just see dudes just like playing singular games and all that sort of stuff. But
yeah.
Hey
man, that was me also during the pandemic. Like I, like a lot of people dabbled in some streaming, and for me, my game of choice was Slay the Spire. I put like
there you go
300 hours into that game, and I was just like, every day I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna stream like a few runs trying to beat the game, and then it's like, that's just what I was doing because I didn't have a job at the time. I super enjoyed it, and like every now and then I think about, maybe I'll give streaming another go, but like time is harder to come by now as we're able to go outside and do things like we weren't back then.
Fucking outside's overrated.
Yeah. I mean, if we had been talking last week after I'd run that half marathon in shitty weather, I think I would have agreed with you.
How'd you go in it? How'd you go?
It was good. Like so traditionally a half marathon is what, 21.1 kilometers,
whatever it is. Yeah,
it works out to. But when you're on the Great Ocean Road in Victoria, that like running that from where the start line was would put you between two towns in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
So in order to
That's a great
have
place
you
to end a marathon.
Yeah, in order to have you end in civilization where they can set up, like water stations and food vendors and trucks and like get the buses back, they had to tack on another like 2 kilometers. But they hopefully put up a timing point at the actual like half marathon distance. So my goal for that was to get the half marathon under 2 hours, clock that in at 1:58.
Oh, nice.
Finished the whole thing in 2 hours, 8 minutes and change. So given the like undulating elevation and the rain,
I was wondering that.
Like I was pretty happy with that. Like it's a coastal road; it's never going to be flat.
Yeah, must have been a hell of a view out to the.
Oh, it would have been if it weren't for the rain.
Yeah, if it wasn't shitting down rain.
Yeah, like I was running it the whole time, being like, "Man, this would be so sick if the weather was better."
It was really good.
Yeah, but then you would have just got sunburnt to shit.
I mean, what in late May? Probably not.
Wouldn't have been that.
I don't know, man. If I'm outside for 10 minutes, even on a day like we got some fucking shit weather coming, what I would still get cooked on a day like today. But I mean, think that's
you and me both, fair-skinned redheads. I think.
But you spend time outside.
When I say, yeah, I would still have put on sunblock if it was any chance of being sunny, even in late May.
Like my brother's ginger, and he doesn't burn anymore. He just tans. And I was like, that makes no sense to me. I'm like, fuck you, but also you go outside way too often.
I mean, this shirt I'm wearing right now is literally slip, slop, slap.
Oh, hey, how about, I saw the sun part, like the tarot card. Yeah. I didn't see the bottom part. I'm like, oh, okay, yep, that's pretty good.
It's a, Australian
I'm surprised the sun's not burning
card.
you. The shirt's not burning you.
Well, yeah. Yeah, maybe this light will. I don't know.
Give it a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so...
Anyway. That's me. What do you guys do with the show now?
Well, we do this bit where we go and click this button, and Steve talks about.
Fuck! I can't. Hey! I was wondering how this was all going to work.
Oh yeah, as I said, I've all set this up.
I was going to say you must have been fucking around with this for ages, and the fact you haven't said nothing is like, man, fuck this. I'm like, man.
No, you have to create all new inputs and all stuff in
to
do this. So, but. Yes, so
Graham does all the the technology side and like all the design stuff. I occasionally like switch on a stream and record stuff and just go and just basically act like a chocolate fuck.
Does such a well job of it too.
Yeah, so not much has changed then.
Nah,
no,
fuck all really. So as far as my games go, Twilight Survivors I've been playing around with. I literally took a fucking NVIDIA driver update just before we started the call, and I can't see the start window because it's fucking annoying like that. So Twilight Survivors, pretty cool little arse game. Mike, are you familiar with the arse game concept?
What is it? Auto shooting survival game? Is that?
Well done.
Am I close? Yeah. All right. Cool.
You are
bang
on. That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, Vampire Survivors. Pesticide not required. A very good one of those. For those who haven't kept up. Twilight Survivors came out a little earlier this year. I've been checking out a lot of those style of games. I think Vampire Survivors being the original and still the best. I was like you probably have similar thoughts of Slay the Spire. Or the CCG sort of roguelike games that have come after that, like even a Monster Train. You can see where they borrowed.
I've tried things that were inspired by Slay the Spire, and I always just go back to Slay the Spire. Like yeah. There was a cool one that came out actually. It was like I think it was called Power Chord, where you're playing like a heavy metal band, and it's all that card-based Slay the Spire looking kind of combat. That one's pretty neat. But yeah, they just like added more mechanics. I'm like, no, give me that Slay the Spire simplicity. Take me back.
See, I got all the achievements in Vampire Survivors before they did the DLC stuff. So once that happened, I'm like, yep, I'm done. And also, they've added a bunch of DLC. I just haven't gone back to it because I'm like, oh, I already did this once. there's less in this than what there is in a pesticide not required, because you've got the fishing and the farming and all that sort of stuff in there. It is fun. I have stuck with it a fair bit, but I'm really starting to think about like this idea of a roadmap for features roadmap for games coming out in 1.0, where they're adding like really big things that have pretty significant impact on the game. It's like you're out in 1.0. I thought that was all meant to be like bug fixes and stuff, but the concept of what a full release is in games these days is very different. And yeah, I think they've got on their roadmap like another 2 or 3 or 4 characters coming, like 4 or 5 stages. So it's like, why get too invested in this thing if there's going to be all that sort of stuff added? I will say it is very anime. You get fucking like full-blown anime shouts the whole way through. Which I kind of ignore for the most part, but eventually you just get shit popping off all over the joint, and it's really satisfying right up until you get hit and die for no reason, or for a reason that you can't see. But I dig it. It's fairly cheap. I think $5, $6, $7 on Steam. Apparently it is on the Switch. I think that'd be a really good Switch game, or for those who have taken the plunge like Graham with the old handheld PCs, I think it'd be a good one for like a ROG or a ROG Ally or a Steam Deck or something like that. But yeah, it's good, but I'm going to leave it for now because of that content roadmap and what's coming. I don't want to get too into it and then just like Vampire Survivors. Speaking of games that are really cheap, this thing's on 85% discount right now. And it might still be by the time this podcast hits. Last Hope Bunker Survival. So, Graham, you and I have talked about a couple times that there's a bunch of different YouTube channels. I think we've talked about this. A bunch of YouTube channels that look at indie games that are coming and stuff like that.
I think we vaguely talked about it. Not particularly.
I think I've mentioned it once or twice. Maybe that was the extent of talking about it. Yeah. My version of talking about it is, hey, there's this thing. All right, cool. Moving on. And I saw this on one of their that I think it's Best Indie Games is the channel, and they do like a bit of a roundup of what's coming. And I saw this, and it was like twin stick, post-apocalyptic sort of zombie thing. I'm like, all right, why not? And it's got kind of an immersive sim vibe, kind of like Dying Light, but if Dying Light didn't have parkour and was a dual joystick shooter. Very simplistic.
So completely different.
Yeah, completely not Dying Light, but yeah.
Yeah, also haven't played Dying Light, so that was an incredibly difficult sentence to parse.
I know, right? I have these thoughts sometimes. They coalesce perfectly in my head, and then by the time it goes from here to out here, it's like, what the fuck did I just say?
Makes no sense. You get used to that after a while.
Yeah.
We'll never get
He never did.
I don't think I've ever either.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure there's times you definitely haven't.
Yeah.
But you can tell it's got I think it's an Eastern European background, because a lot of the written dialogue, or a lot of the written story, captions, things like that, you can see the very obvious like sort of Russian phrasing of it, where it's that broken English style. When you look at its parts from a critical perspective and go, okay, graphically, sound, the gameplay, all the different mechanics that are in the gameplay and all that sort of stuff, it's fine to okay. It's nothing special, but there's something weirdly compelling about you just control this dude and you've got AKs and shotguns and you're just shooting zombies and you just keep doing it. And I finished it in like 3.5 hours with one achievement not got. And it was for searching boots of police cars for guns and ammo. And I don't know why, but it was strangely compelling and just interesting enough for me to play. So I'm like, okay, fine. I don't know if I can say it's good, but I enjoyed it. I don't know. That's got to count for something.
That's a perfectly good, perfectly valid recommendation.
Yeah.
I know, right? It's okay.
Say I enjoyed this game. Yeah. That's enough.
Yeah. A game I did not enjoy, but thought I would. Quit today. I think Taiwanese. Okay, I was going to say Asian of some kind. I was going to say Japan, but no, it's from Taiwan. Side-scrolling roguelike-ish beat 'em up / belt action game. It's set in corporate culture, and the game does have some pretty interesting things to say about corporate culture, but actually playing it is a real bummer because it doesn't have that snappiness
much
and
like
that
corporate
pace.
culture.
Yeah. Although most people within corporate culture will go, yeah, get the money, bro. And then go into bathrooms and snort lines of coke, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Not the one. Don't know if that's yours. Don't know if that's your version of culture.
Not my.
Is that your experience, Mike?
Yeah, not mine either. Actually.
No, at least not that I've seen. I might just not be getting invited to those kind of parties.
Do you want to be though?
Not really.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, so I've heard from Dave Chappelle. Couple things with this game. It's got some weirdly long attack animation, particularly post-hit animations on the attacking. And because you can be attacked from both sides, when you're in the middle of doing something, you finish a swing and you just get knocked from behind and stuff. What the fuck? But they also decided to make block the down on the D-pad, which makes no sense whatsoever. Right?
Can't be remapped?
I'm trying to think of any other game that has done that.
And that's what my thought was. Established protocol is sort of in that form, B button or something like that. So every time I'd go to, like, a guy would come up from behind me, take his swing with his briefcase, I'd press B to dodge it, and then I get hit. I'm like, what the? Oh, right. The way muscle memory sort of really impacts on that experience, and the lack of, like, a beat-em-up game like the Ninja Turtles one that came out a couple of years ago, there's the mashiness of it, that there's a bit of fun to be had in just hitting buttons, watching satisfying combos come out, bash dudes, and just keep eventually just walking along until you run into a boss. There's something fun about that. That's missing from this. I bailed on it in about 20 minutes and wrote a negative Steam review that actually took me longer to write than it did for me to play. And I don't like writing reviews. The concept of writing a review when you've played next to fuck all of a game is really borderline pointless and also really disingenuous. But I think the issues I had with the game and the lack of enjoyment I had, I wanted to try and verbalize that and make that clear without just being a douchebag about it. I think I articulated that. That's up for other people to figure out if they look at it and go, okay, you sound like a dipshit. All right, fine. How's that different from any other day? What? Moving on. Rebel Transmute. So we talked about this one last time, Graham. Metroidvania with that sort of 16-bit graphics, art style to an extent. I ran into a wall. Everywhere I seemingly could go, I couldn't get any further because I just didn't seem to have the abilities. Someone on the Steam discussion boards were like, hey, go look at this. Someone's done a map. And it's literally just like images from the map screen in the game and just using MS Paint drawing lines for how you're meant to go. And I'm like, yep, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
Fuck this. I'm just like, I can't follow this at the best of times, let alone trying to follow that.
Dude, there's like this, like, to harken back to Destiny real quick, there's this real sweet spot of time right after a new raid or dungeon has come out where the only maps available are MS Paint creations. Yeah. And I've got such a weird, like, nostalgic appreciation for seeing shit like that.
Do you find that sort of mapping effective, like, and followable?
Well, like, if you're also in the grind of trying to solve one of those things at the same time as people creating the maps, you've already got a bunch of the context developed from trying to solve it yourself, and you just need like that extra reference layer of like, what mechanics am I supposed to engage with in what order? And that's what those maps are there for. And then you kind of just get used to the way that map looks. And then when someone puts out a really polished, like, graphic design map, you're like, oh no, give me the trash. Give me the trash that I grew up with.
See, that's my vibe on film. I don't want no Academy Award winning artistic masterpiece. Give me fucking Fast and Furious.
Dude, I love Fast and Furious so much.
Well, you might be interested. Did you? I did on the Friday show, not last week, I think the week before. I fucked around with the tier making list and made the tier rankings of the Furious films. Ranking of Furiouses, I called it. Yeah, Friday Night Fun a couple weeks ago.
They're all S tier, right?
No, I tried to apply a little bit more critical thought to it. 4 ended up being D tier. I don't think 4's particularly good. I had 1, 2, and Tokyo Drift as C tier, purely from a lore perspective. And let's face it, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift has a little Bow Wow and a driftable Mustang, and that's kind of fucking ridiculous. 5, 6, and 8 were S tier. 9 and 7 might have been A, and I think 10 was B. But 10 ends. See, I'm
applying the logic a friend of mine has with regards to Star Wars films, which is whichever Star Wars film you're watching right now is the best one.
See, I'd watched Fast 10 in the cinemas. That's the last time I would engage with the Fast and Furious. Actually, no, that's not true. I did Fast and Furious 5 at work.
Amazing. I was
but yeah.
Wait, Fast X Part 1?
Yeah.
That was like the last one, right? Yeah. I saw that for the first time with an old friend back in Auckland in New Zealand, smoking some of that New Zealand government-produced weed, and it was a great time.
It's fucking ridiculously stupid. And like that ending sequence where Dom's driving down a fucking dam with an explosion chasing after him is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that whole movie was
the question
crazy,
marks it leaves,
dude.
It leaves too many threads hanging. I need to know what happens. It's the same with the new Spider-Verse. I'm like, I forgot that I think it's Beyond. Across, because Beyond is the one coming. Across the Spider-Verse, I forgot was a part 1 when I watched it, and I got to the end of it, it's like, it's not finished. Fuck! That's right! It's a part 1! Shit!
Yeah, I still gotta watch that.
So I screwed myself on that one. Anyway. Get nice little diversion there. There's a lack of pace to traversal in Rebel Transmute as well that sort of frustrated me. So I was just like, out of impatience, I was just trying to hammer forward to try and make any progress I could. And I just keep dying because I was rushing. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this. I got way too many other games to play. I'm moving on. So I moved on. This is one of the things I moved on to. Another short game. Death Noodle Delivery, which I think is a great name. It's...
There's so many questions.
Yeah, I know, right? There's
Are you delivering
of
death noodles?
Or delivering just noodles with death?
You're delivering noodles, but you can die quite easily. It's a dystopian future where there's an AI virus going around where you control a dude named Jimmy, who is an unemployed junkie, or at least that's what it seems like he is. He gets a delivery job, and he's trying to get paid, and he's also trying to take a shit. The first couple of days, you get fucking A. Like, his first day getting back from doing the delivery, he's like, man, I really need a shit. And he goes in his apartment, and there's a cat just hanging out in his toilet. I was like, that's weird. And he gets back on the second day, and his toilet's just overflowing with radioactive gunk. And he gets back on the third day, his toilet's gone. So he's been able to hold that shit for quite some time, which is an impressive skill, I got to say.
Probably not healthy for him.
No, probably not. At some point, he had to have just unloaded it. We could just talk about people shitting themselves. But anyway. Circling the drain, where I'm most comfortable. What? So there's like an AI pandemic, and you're in an apartment building where there's a bunch of different like loser sort of archetypes. There's a sort of weird cam girl / stripper / escort who has people coming to her apartment and she services them in different ways. You've got a weird dealer across the hall from you who has a robot maid that's also his girlfriend. There's a different like sort of gang leader that basically threatens to beat the shit out of you every time you talk to him. And you're trying to establish what's going on and how to actually deal with what's going on, while then trying to make enough money or engage in this noodle delivery minigame almost to survive, get money, and then you're going onto a VR cyberspace black market to buy upgrades and go to a funeral for some person who you don't even know of beyond just, hey, this dude died. And it's like, oh man, what a bummer. When's the funeral? Oh, it's online in cyberspace. Here's the link. Wait, what? So it's a weird sort of amalgamation of different sort of narrative hooks, and it's got some really interesting and really clever writing to it. But man, playing that Paperboy game is kind of fucked in a whole bunch of different ways, to the point where eventually it just gets fucking almost intolerable. The things you're asked to do and the tools you're given to deal with those things just almost completely ruins the experience. And then you get chase sequences where you finish the delivery, you need to get back to your apartment, and there's this pizza delivery dude who's like, fuck your noodles, and tries to kill you on the road every night. And there's the turning radius is really narrow. There's like a total of like 40 degrees in which you can turn. And it's really easy for you to just get run into walls by this douchebag pizza delivery driver guy. I think the story... Oh, fuck yeah, man. I would not want to try and deliver noodles like now, let alone in whatever fucked up version of the future this is going on in this game. And like, between the art style, which is fucking incredible, it's got a really great look to it. It's got that synthwavey sort of futuristic musical style, which, let's face it, most games have, but I still really enjoy that style for now. And like the writing and the narrative components of it are really strong, but then you actually sit down and play it, it's like, fucking hell, kill me. And then it does, like 8 times. It literally took me nearly an hour and a half, 2 hours to get through the last 10% of it. Just because of how fucked it was. Speaking of games that aren't fucked, Bears in Space is still pretty good. Moving on. No, I played this. I played a whole lot more.
Space?
Bears in Space is fucking fantastic. It is up there for one of my favorite things so far this year. We talked about it last podcast, but it's sort of there's a boomer shootery vibe to it with the pace, the number of enemies that you're facing at a time, all that sort of deal. It's got a Ratchet and Clank weapon upgrade mechanic where the more you kill, you upgrade your guns eventually to bigger and better versions of them. And there's a bunch of like really interesting sort of discoverability secret elements that come from traversing the environment. And it's super cleverly written in a way where, making note of stuff for Game of the Year, I'm like sitting there thinking, okay, moment of the year. What are we like? Moments are coming up in this thing. And at a point, I just like, all right, I'm not going to write down individual moments. I'm just the whole game. Because there are so many clever, interesting, funny things that actually happen. Some of it plays off Australianisms really, really well. Some of it is just really clever parody. There's a section where you become a Godzilla-like and you're walking through some city and crushing it for reasons. I don't know. There's a basketball-like game where out of it you get the ability to throw grenades that are like, it's a cube, but you bounce it like a basketball. It's fucking incredible.
All right, I'm gonna have to look at this game after this.
Yeah,
you have piqued my interest.
There's a demo. There's a demo of it, so you can get it now on Steam.
Yeah,
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I am genuinely serious when I say it is probably in the top 3 things I've played this year. I really enjoyed Banishers, and this is up there with it. So far, at least, just how inventive and how creative and how funny it actually is. If there's a drawback, the levels become really huge. Like at a point, sometimes you're playing levels that are an hour and a half, 2 hours long. But there is so much happening in each of those that even where the build up to a joke sort of falls flat, the way it falls flat and falls on its face is actually really amusing. And it does just super clever things with the different level challenges and stuff. I think saying any more about some of the actual moments and some of the challenges in particular would actually spoil it. Outside of when you get to a China shop, you can either fuck everything up and break everything, or you can just walk out and there is a challenge or achievement tied to one of those options.
Just like a bear in a China shop.
That is the name of the achievement, bear in a China shop.
Yeah.
And it is really, really good. Like it's got a really clean art style. It's not the most interesting or best looking thing, but it's just a really nice, clean art style, but it still fulfills those boomer shooter sort of pace and degree or complexity of combat encounters where sometimes it's like, oh, fuck, I'm out of ammo. Oops, switching ammos, running around, dashing all over the place, trying to avoid getting hit. And there's some bullet heli elements to it where sometimes you're fighting bosses that just rain like these just dots of bullets down on you. It's actually really, really cool. And that it came from Australia. Like, you get some Australian accent to it as well. Oh, the one, maybe one of the other negative things is I'm not quite as big a fan of the bear's voice that so, Mike, you maybe remember the episode of The Simpsons where Bart becomes a fly?
Yeah, vaguely. It's been a while since I've watched all.
That's what happens in this game.
Yeah, sick.
So there's a teleport that happens, and your DNA combines with that of a bear that's next to you, and you end up with the bear's voice in your head. But sometimes you can double jump, and the bear can, like, there's a part where you can't get through a gate because if it detects bear DNA, it locks the door. So the bear just leaves. It like picks up its keys, leaves, walks out of your head, drives away to the shop, and it leaves you to be able to walk down this pathway. It's
all right. Yeah, sufficiently interested in bears in space.
Yeah, it might be one of the most cleverly written things I've seen in video games in a long time. I'm still continuing with the Surge 2. Last 2 weeks, I've done it on Saturday night because Friday Night Fun, I've been playing. There's been a whole bunch of other things that have come up to play. That game I'm disappointed in myself. It took me this long to play the Surge 2. It is a very, very good Souls-like if you have interest in those styles of games. Adds this sort of targeting mechanic, which that was in the first one, but it's just a really good one of those, and I'm really enjoying it despite dying so many times. But that's really great fun. We did checkouts of Turbo Golf Racing, which somehow your view of that, Graham, has nearly 80 views.
Oh, does it? I haven't even looked. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's really weird. Just like yours has like 75, 80, and then the other one, both mine and the other two of Super Video Golf have less than 10.
It's weird.
I don't know what's going on. It's weird.
Yeah.
And we've got the checkout for Super Video Golf. I've continued playing. I've actually started the career, and I've worked my way through that. I got about 4 or 5 hours in it now. I forgot to enable it for the checkout we did, but I've got the RoboCop skin off the workshop.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm playing golf as RoboCop.
Cool.
It's great. It's fucking great.
Super Video Golf. What a name.
It's a fucking fantastic name. And we both figured it out or discovered it via that PC Gamer article where it's like this really cool, like
it's
wireframey golf game got a career mode.
Yeah,
okay, looked at it. Yeah. Fuck, this is awesome.
This is awesome, yeah. Yeah, it's like it's a game that's like nostalgia is all how it plays it and how it looks is just really, really.
So
neat.
The putting is relatively simplistic. Like you do get the wireframe grid over the green, but in a Tiger Woods or the PGA 2K games that are out, any slope or anything on most putting green surfaces in those games, if there's that little bit of a dip, you have to really adjust for it. It's nowhere near as hard as that in Super Video Golf. The physics model is less difficult to deal with.
I mean, good, because the putting in those games is what always puts me off. I'm just like, this is annoying. Like, I just want to do a big hit, and then the putting is way more complicated than any of the other stuff.
Yeah.
I have barely had to aim most of the putts. And if I have, it's been very minimal.
It actually does it
is basically a Mega Drive golf game, but with relatively.
It's going back to back into the 80s and 90s of how golf used to be.
Yeah.
Like, there's nowhere near as simulation as the current ones are. So your putting will be, let's say you're 5 meters from the hole, it'll basically shrink down the putter and just give a little flag marker, so you just don't know how hard you have to hit it. What you got to really do is get the angle right and the aiming right. So it does simplify the putting to the point where it's not annoying to do, and that's a pretty big selling point of it versus the golf games you get nowadays, where it's just so everything's up, simulated up the wazoo, and you go, oh shit, great. Getting from the tee to the green's really good and fun. Once you get the green, I now have to play with this thing. You get all better. minutely correct, and then fuck, I missed it. Then you just they take away all that frustration of putting out of it completely. So it's a big selling point for that.
And I was curious about the lack of par fives. Turns out there's a discussion board topic where someone asked that very question. The developer was like, the engine, the course editor can't deal with par fives. We've got a par five into our course. Everything is either 3 or 4, except for the putting course.
So funny.
Which is not
I didn't even realize that. Okay.
Yeah. I was really curious. I'm like, why the fuck are there no par fives? What's going on here? And I went to the discussion forums to ask, and it literally already was done. And it's just like, yeah, the course editor and the engine we're using can't deal with par fives.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
done.
why? Like, the software engineer in my brain is like, why is that the case? Because like you can do 3s and 4s. How much more is it to do a 5?
Is it a draw?
I mean, look, I don't know if it's the case, but the wireframey graphics style they're using, there's a weird wireframing is not even really fully the right word for it, is it, Graham?
Yeah, it's not really that either. I'm not really sure how to describe it. Like if you look at it, you just when the hole gets sort of when you go up to when you zoom into a hole, it sort of builds the hole as you're sort of flying through it, and sort of the environment sort of comes in, but it's not really wireframe. It's just you'd have to sort of see it in motion to sort of get a sense of what it really is. But
I'll check it out. Like, I love those old golf games, and every time I like something that looks like a more arcadey golf game comes out, I'm like, oh, maybe this will scratch that itch. Like Everybody's Golf or Hot Shots Golf, depending on which country you're in. Love the shit out of those games, and that's like the closest I've ever gotten.
That PlayStation 4 one was great.
Oh, so good, dude.
Yep. Have you played? There was the one that Clap Hands did for mobile. It also came out on the Switch.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. It's like Clap Hands Golf or something dumb like that. They don't get to use the Everybody's Golf or Hot Shots Golf title, but they've got, and it's literally, you can see the mobile trappings, but they dump all the paid currency stuff because it's like $20 or $30. But there are times where you can see where if it was the phone game where they'd want you to pay to be able to play more and things like that. But it still is that game. But this has that 3-click mechanic for swings, but you can also turn on analog swing. But it's actually really quite generous on the analog swing. And realistically, all you're doing is pulling back to where you want the power bar to line up and then push forward. So you're not even really controlling how much of the actual swing animation you're seeing. Like, you don't even get the punch shot. It's literally just you watch it swing. So you're not getting the different shot types. You're not getting flops. You're not getting a punch, bump and run, or anything like that. It's literally just, here's the ball, hit the fucking thing at the green, and put it in the hole. Okay.
Yeah, and the other thing you really got to determine if you're getting close to the hole, if your club you've got is too long, you've got to just hit half power, and that's the only sort of judgment thing you've got to do, really. There's no different shots types to account for that difference, so it's interesting.
I feel like we'll be able to bring back best non-2024 game for Game of the Year.
For sure.
Between this, the Surge 2, and a couple other things. I went back to Not a Hero on the Friday show this week because of Roll 7 being closed, and I'm like, this game's fucking great! Anyway.
Yeah, back to what it says. At the moment, this is a game engine limitation. It simply can't support holes big enough for a par 5. That's not to say it never will, but it's not a priority for now. So there must be some sort of graphic. Oh, I don't know what it. Yeah. Because I can't really. Yeah, that seems really odd. I don't. Yeah. Anyway.
Because it's not like it's using Unity. I don't even know what engine this thing's using.
I think it's his own. By the sounds of it, sounds like it's his own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
But that thing's super cool. I've got nearly 5 hours in it now. But I'm digging it. I am surprisingly digging X Defiant. Let me do that. There we go. I did a solo checkout of this that went up on Thursday. I then played more of it yesterday or on Saturday before playing the Surge 2 because I wanted to mess around with shotguns, and they're really fun. I think I'm enjoying this more because I haven't played a Call of Duty seriously since Advanced Warfare. I think if you've been playing...
That's a lot of Call of Duty you've missed out on.
Fucking A. I played a little bit of Warzone just in the aftermath of Apex. but like I haven't played a proper Call of Duty, a Call of Duty game in any proper form or with any sort of seriousness since Advanced Warfare on PlayStation 4, because I really enjoyed what was Sledgehammer did with that. So I went in, this has only a few different modes. It's got the Overwatch style stand next to this thing and it'll go forward. Convoy. I think that's, I don't know what they call it. There's a domination. There's a hard point variant or hard point style point control mode they use. There's a different attack and defend mode, which I don't give a fuck about that. And they kind of have a kill confirmed mode. That's their closest to a team deathmatch. I'd really like this thing to have team deathmatch or free-for-all, but I've seen people sort of in some ways shit on it, because if you've played Call of Duty a lot, it borrows a lot from those games. I don't. So I'm enjoying it for now. And running around with a shotgun and using the abilities from the, what is it? What's the Splinter Cell group?
Oh.
Who cares? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Something Echelon?
Yeah, third echelon, something like that. Because it's Call of Duty, but it brings in different classes or factions from the different Ubisoft games. Like, it's got Ghost Recon, not Wildlands, and not Breakpoint, but a mobile game they did.
In it?
Yeah, it's got
that they don't have, and I think that'd be fucking awesome.
So we're going around
just out of nowhere, someone knifes you.
Knifes you in the back. And you go,
that'd be so fucking good, though. So the third echelon group, you can either go invisible and stealth, or you have an intel suit which can ping out and tell you who's near where. And your ultimate is you put like the night vision goggles on, pull out the Splinter Cell, the Sam Fisher gun, and it's like 2-hit kill, and you can see dudes through walls and shit. There's a Libertad faction from Far Cry 6 that are basically healers. There's cleaners from Division that are basically, they have incendiary ammo and fire grenades and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Watch Dogs faction is locked behind getting 700,000 XP or paying money for it.
Of course it is.
Yep. But there's not really much in the way of like sort of play to win. Everything you can buy is literally just skins outside of obviously that Watch Dogs faction. Now, if that Watch Dogs faction is massively overpowered, that's a bigger problem. That's a bigger difference. I was curious when I did the checkout if there was going to be any work, nerfing or anything done on the cleaner class, because the incendiary ammo and everything like that it can be quite powerful. And their ult is literally, hey, here's a flamethrower. Go and fuck things up. And they run through you. If they've got that up, they will run through you. But like I said, the third echelon, the Splinter Cell faction, has the recon mode, which that's super powerful too. And it does take a bit of time to build up the ability, the meter, or whatever you want to call it, to build up the ability to use that ult. And I really like the map design. I think the map designs have been really quite interesting. There's like a movie studio sort of map where there's a bunch of like, there's a sci-fi sort of corridor. There's an old Western sort of movie town in the middle of it. There's a fake Google campus you can run around. They just bring in a lot of interesting different maps designs and map looks from their different games, with the exception of Assassin's Creed. I think Assassin's Creed being in there would be really funny, watching like an Ezio run around with a fucking shotgun but still having the wrist blade. I think that'd be cool.
Was it Assassin's Creed 3 that was set in like colonial America? Like, bring in just dude with a musket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, can't remember what his name was.
Oh god, like you do get people running around with sniper rifles and marksman rifles, and they'll fuck you up. So yeah. I spent a lot of time near or at the bottom of most of the teams I was on, like when I was playing it, but it's still fun. So
can I just point out the sheer goofiness of the man's headgear in this box art? Like, it looks like he's gone backwards hat on first,
he's got that on,
then a mask with the straps, then the headset over top of all of that. Like, I'm wearing glasses and headphones, and this is uncomfortable.
Yeah. So the Ghost Recon faction has like shielding abilities. Like, they didn't put out like a digital shield that covers a fair bit of space, or they've got more a specific blast shield like in Call of Duty. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I dipped into Combat Master for a little bit last night as well, just to separate the two. Okay, I haven't looked at Combat Master for a while. Let's go back and look at that, and that's still fucking ridiculous in a pretty great way. But yeah, I don't know. X-Defiant's pretty good. And then I played a little bit of Pepper Grinder on Sunday morning. Devolver published platformer. I use those quotes because, yeah, you can jump, but the main form of locomotion, I think that's as far down as it'll go. That's annoying. The main form of locomotion is the drill you get. So your name is Pepper, I assume, because there's fuck all in the way of story that's actually given to you. You wake up on a beach where there's a bunch of narwhals as pirates, led by some pirate lady. They take all your treasure, and you find a big fuck-off drill, and then you use it to traverse the different stages. You collect gems, and there's 5 hidden coins through the level, but they're not that hidden if you're even remotely observant. It has a really nice pixel art style. It's really fun to move around and traverse the environment, particularly when you're using the drill to like build momentum and then fire yourself out. I think it's one of those games where you'd only want to play it like the world at a time. Like that, one set of levels, do something else, come back later. I did run into I went against the first boss. That was a bit of a fucker. But otherwise, the line of difficulty that this game walks seems to do it fairly well. There is a bit of difficulty if you want to go for all the secrets. And like I unlocked the secret level, the bonus level in the first world, and that was a bit fucked, but it was pretty great. It was fucked in a pretty great way. The bosses might be the most annoying or frustrating thing. So if you aren't big on, for lack of a better term, that classic style of boss encounter from these sorts of games, you're probably not going to enjoy it as much. But I really dig what I've played so far. It's meant to be fairly short too, about 5-6 hours. So I'm going to keep fucking around with it. And then I've got a couple of must-listens that'll come up in the beginning of the end. Mm-hmm. So, Graham,
mm-hmm.
How about you talk?
My turn, yeah. So, I've got a couple of new games this week, but mainly still going through Horizon. Yeah, still going through Horizon Forbidden West. Really digging that game on the PC. Really enjoying it. Mandalords, I was jumping a little bit back into Mandalords before we started recording, and I'm still getting my head around the mechanics of that game, and I think that game has the potential to, it's been very successful, I think, in how it's come out. But I think, from my perspective, I think I might have to wait a little bit longer just to read a bit more about the how to make the best out of that game, because I think if you get things wrong at the beginning, you're kind of fucked and you can't really recover from it. So I'm thinking, because there's sort of an upgrade tree that if you put into the wrong category, I think you kind of screw yourself over. So I'm not really sure I'm quite followed how that sort of mechanic works and how you upgrade things to get those more development points. Because at the moment I'm running out of fuel, which is one of the things that the people need to survive, and I don't have any way of making it at the moment. So I'm basically on a downward spiral, and I don't think I'm ever going to get out of it. So I think I might have to be read up a bit of how to do that stuff and then restart it and do another game. But yeah, we'll see. But I like a lot of what that game is doing. But yeah, Satisfactory, still putting that in. That's my equivalent to your Destiny 2, Mike. I've put nearly 1,700 hours into this game. And I've played an awful lot of it. I've now got just editing episode 20 of Solo Factory, so that's going to go up that'll go up Wednesday night, hopefully. I really goes without saying I really enjoy that game.
Yeah, Satisfactory
and those videos
also Factorio are ones that I go back to every year or so. It's just like, man, I'm itching to just start a new game and just fuck around with that world again.
I've just started an arc to build a central storage hub in my main factory, so I've got 60 or 70 containers to build and bloody shitloads of belts to get into it. So yeah, it's a bit of a three or multi-episode arc to build this thing, and it's really hopefully
very popular content.
Hopefully 1.0 this week. This year, I hope. Hopefully this year.
Really?
I was going to say, what? Have you heard something?
No, not that. No. They're definitely talking 1.0 this year, but yeah, they just put out update 8 just recently, late last year, early this year. So yeah, I think they're aiming for 1.0 this year, which will be funny. That'll be like a nearly 5 years of early access, which is a bloody long time. But yeah, Super Free to Golf. We talked about that earlier, and September.
Oh, how's that?
Yeah. The Duck Detective, the Secret Salami. This is a
Bought it,
great.
but I haven't played it yet.
This is a great.
Hey, let
game.
me tell you about my secret salami. What is this?
Boom!
This is a basically a not quite point and click, but effectively you control the titular character, Duck Salami. He calls himself, oh god, what's his name? It's like he plays on all these various puns. So the way the game is presented, I'll just see if these screenshots show it off properly. They may not. Depends on what they've taken screenshots.
While that's loading, have you played the Frog Detective games?
No. So you can see here you've got you're playing that character in the middle there. He's basically just a cardboard cutout. So as you're moving around, you've got free movement around the environments, and as you flip direction, he just flips over. It's really.
Oh, dude, I've just started playing that Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake, and like I've never played Paper Mario before, but I really appreciate that aesthetic of it just flipping and around. It's really moving around.
It's really neat.
I bought that too. I haven't played it yet.
So this is basically this detective game. You play as the character on the screen here. It's all voice acted, and it's really good voice acting.
Sweet.
So yeah, so basically you're playing this little detective guy, and
is this like a fucking film noir? I'm just like reading the way that
very much so.
I'm just reading that dialogue.
Yeah, it's basically
so good.
He'll go into a scene like this scene here, for example, and when you first enter it, it'll be like grayscale sepia kind of look to it. And he'll do his, I walked in and it was this and it was this. It's really, really well presented. And you're doing this, when you walk up to a character, you've got options of talking to them or sort of doing this magnifying glass thing to highlight events.
Yeah, it's like LA Noir light.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically
press X to doubt.
yeah, pretty much. It's not quite that. I haven't done the first actual mission yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does that. So you'll hover over this thing, it'll say strained eyes, insomniac, and that'll be a clue to who it is. And it's just really neat in how it presents this stuff. So just all the characters are like this.
What a great fucking name!
Yeah, Eugene McQuackland.
That's what I'm trying to think if that's who he was. Yeah, it was McQuackland. And you've got a penguin. Like you've got a penguin here. It's a sheep. The bus driver of this particular area is a buffalo. There's a crocodile. I think it's a cat and a bear. Like the character art is just really, really neat. And here's how you identify you. So once you've done a bunch of this walking around, figuring out who people are, you figure out who you get all these names given to you, and you're eventually trying to basically guess who the name of the characters are, because that's who you need to know who your suspects are. So you go, oh, this one's Freddy. Oh, Freddy. Okay, ding, and then it goes. You get that as a suspect, and you can then start actually go up to other characters, and you can then question about the character you've now got a name on. So you sort of need to build up this list of the characters' names to be able to then question other people about them, sort of thing. Then this is your deductions. Yeah, it's just.
Fuck! I only just saw that. That's great.
It's just how they do it is just brilliant. So once you put all your things together, you've got to fill this in to sort of solve it, quote unquote.
Oh man!
So
LA Noir walked so this game could run.
Yeah, exactly. It's just brilliant how they've done it. So
shit.
Freddy's being something by someone stuff because you piece all together. You basically press A on the item and it gives you what options you've got for it. And if you get anything wrong, they say you've got 2 of my items are wrong in this sequence.
That's cool.
So you sort of get a decent idea of what exactly you've sort of got wrong.
Do you get those options as a result of the dialogue that you've engaged in, or
as
is it automatic?
As you're doing stuff, you're piecing together bits of clues, and they then become options in those little dialogue sort of things.
Yep.
But also as you're walking up, so for example, this guy, you walk up and you want to sort of basically, it's a magnifying glass icon, so I don't really know what it. Then you basically does this portrait thing. You just sort of move the magnifying glass around, and it'll highlight things. You'll go through this sort of, like you saw in that screenshot before. It'll go from that. You'll get a clue to help you identify who this person is. It's just really clever.
I like the disparity in the art style between like the environmental sort of polygonal art and the sort of paperish look at the characters.
Yeah, it's really great. And, as you're walking around, you'll knock over waste paper baskets and bits of paper will fly out, and it's just the look of it is just perfect as far as I'm concerned. It's just so good, and the voice acting's really neat. And you've got this dialogue is just it's just really really neat. And so in an environment like this, you can walk up to different things, and they'll have just above the bear's head there. You can see the little icon just there, and that's how you can walk up. And that's how you walk up and interact with him. You can either walk up and talk to him, or do that magnifying glass thing. And then when you talk to him, you can, if you've then got sort of evidence you want to talk about, you can highlight that, and it'll just go through a small dialogue box about it. It's just the way it's presented and everything about it is just so cool.
How long have you put into it?
Maybe an hour or so.
I think I've read it's about between 2.5 and 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it's very long with what it's doing. But it's just really, the presentation is just so good. And as you're saying, the way that the characters flip around when you walk around is really satisfying to look at. And I'm just going to walk back and forth and just watch it flip because it's so good. But yeah, it's a really neat game. I really, really like it. It's not particularly expensive at the moment on I think it's like 10 or 11, 12.
I think it's 11 or 12 bucks.
Yeah, it's not particularly expensive, so it's probably not surprising it's short. But based on everything I've played of it so far, it's definitely worth even that amount of money, even though it might be short.
And it probably sets up like future chapters of the Duck Detective.
I assume so. I think that's what it's probably going to do. But yeah, it's really, really good. I really, really like it.
Scroll up a little bit because I want to see if it puts a play Germany. Okay, Happy Broccoli Games, great name.
Great name. Yeah, so it's out on pretty much everything. So yeah, except for consoles, except Switch. But yeah. I went back into Dave the Diver because they released a free DLC based on Godzilla. Which for some reason disappears in like a couple of months, like middle of November. You can't.
In November.
Even though it's free, I don't know.
November 25th or something.
I don't know why that is.
Yeah, man, licensing is crazy.
Must be a licensing thing, but it's really.
But once it's gone, you can still access it and download it and everything like that. You just have to grab it by November.
As long as you've added to your library by then, yeah. It's very short. It probably took me less than half an hour to do it. So yeah, it's not particularly engaging. Not particularly long.
I thought that's what you were doing when I saw Dave the Diver pop up for you this morning.
I didn't even know they were doing it. I just I'll get back into that. It's a neat little, obviously, hell of a game.
How does it basically just present it as like Bancho or someone gives you the mission to go fuck around with Godzilla, or
no? Basically, what happens is when you go back into the first game, back into the game. I assume you. Well, most people by now probably finish it, but it just happens on a particular night, and basically it just cuts to a scene of the what's it called, blue hole, whatever it's called, and there's just rumblings and noise and stuff. And then next morning, you're on the boat, and some of the little submarine pops out of the water and says, "I'm so and so from the something Godzilla something or other thing. We know he's here. He was in a fight earlier, and he's come here to heal himself, and we need to go find him." Okay, so you go find him. And then that triggers a fight with a big giant lobster, and then the best part of it though is that when you fire off the lobster, you beat him, so to speak. You go back to the surface, who's now, because the lobster's gone back to the surface and he's going to wreck the place. Godzilla wakes up or heals, and then it turns into a Street Fighter style game where you're playing as Godzilla. So you're then,
oh my god, that's fucking amazing.
So you're basically then. I just cracked up laughing when it did this. So basically, you've now got, the cutscene kicks in, Godzilla comes up from the ocean, and then it comes into the side by side. He's on the right, you're on the left. You've got a health bar. You've got the ability to basically block. And you've got 3 attacks you can do on it, and he's got his own attacks that you can't see them. You can sort of see them telegraphed because he's a lobster, and basically you just got to defeat him as Godzilla. So you've got
moment of the year.
Yeah, well, it was really fucking good. I
was going to say, how do we work that within our own rules?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to figure something. We'll make some exceptions to our rules to make it.
Because that sounds like that really needs to be on that
list. It really was. So yeah, so you can hold down. I play with the controller, so you hold down left trigger and it does a defend thing. So he sort of puts up his little claws or whatever, and that'll defend against some of the attacks from the lobster. You've got your like a slash attack and a charge attack, and if you hold down the Y button, I think it was, he does the mouth thing. He puts a beam of lava light thing out of his mouth against the once you've done it, he then does that raw thing that he does, and he just walks off in the background. That's it.
And then the Puff Daddy song starts playing.
I wish.
Fuck yeah, me too.
And then the guy that I think his name Mickey or something is the character that starts the whole thing off. He then comes back and says, well, she comes back and says, thanks for helping us out. We'll keep an eye on him from now on. And then he cuts back to the sushi bar, and Banjo, he says, I've got some inspiration from that fight. I'm gonna make some new addition, and you get a new animation to him creating those meals. So
he makes sushi out of Godzilla. Perfect.
Not really, but he gets inspiration from it. So yeah, but yeah, it's incredibly short. The fact that it's free, I mean, it's well worth it just to see this Street Fighter style battle thing come up and surround it. I just was not expecting to do that at all. So yeah. It's really, really good with it. It's really, really funny.
There's a part of me that wishes you didn't tell me, but now I really have to see it.
You've got to go and see it. It's really, really
I might do this on the Friday show this week.
It's really awesome. And my last one is that I Am Future. They did a bit of a content update recently.
It was in the last week and a half-ish.
Yeah, so they've done a new area, opened up a new area that was previously coming soon, so I dived back into there and just have a look around what they've done. They've done a few quality of life things I'm still trying to get my head around as what they've done, but it's still in early access, that game, and I don't know when it's going to be out in 1.0. Maybe this year, don't know. But yeah, that's we might even do a quick look of that at some checkout of that when it's actually got content.
Come on, man, keep on brand.
Sorry, keep falling to all the names and keep using the term quick look.
I know, right?
Yeah, but that's it for me. That was my last game. So yeah, bit of dabbling. Yeah, I didn't expect to go into Dave the Diver because I think that DLC came out of nowhere. The Duck Detective, that came out this week, so yeah, that's really neat.
Yes.
And yeah, we did those couple of checkouts before. But yeah, that is all I have. So let me push some buttons here and get back to that.
Boom.
So let me queue up. So yeah, I guess we probably do the bidding at the end, since that's what we want to do now, isn't it?
I was going to say, because I mean, we could talk about like Assassin's Creed, the new one, or Square talking about their expectations and them not being met.
No, I'm not going to do any news.
But let's not talk about that, because that's a bummer.
We don't do news anymore. So back into the beginning of the end.
Ah, damn it. The delay didn't quite get. Fuck.
What is happening?
I know, right?
Yeah, we're a bit different what we used to be.
Yeah.
In some ways different, in some ways entirely the same.
Yep. So we're going to do upcoming games for June. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, there's a few in there, and I think Mike being here works out really nicely for the upcoming games of June, right, because there is one that he is very much interested in.
Yeah. We don't. This is
that's May.
It's got a couple of games of May, so May's still going.
Yeah.
That's what's doing it. So we'll just scoop down. Actually, we'll jump to June. We'll jump into June by going, if I can get to that. There we go.
Look,
who cares about this Destiny?
There it is.
Shit? Who cares about that shit?
Yeah.
Mike's big game. Anyway, Killer Clowns from Outer Space is actually getting a decent amount of buzz around it. And could actually be half decent when it comes out. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
It's at least, I think that it's a first-person shooter. I believe.
Okay.
Based on that shitty movie that also had a game, I think, way back in the day. Ilphonic is behind it. Ilphonic did they did a first-person shooter that was like a more multiplayer-focused game a few years ago. But yeah, this has been getting some interesting, or at least relatively positive preview coverage that I've seen. So it could come out and be all right. It could come out and be a steaming piece of shit. I think those are the only two options. Destiny 2, the final shape, Mike.
Yep.
Welcome to the rest
could
of Mike's
also
year.
come out and be I think
previous statements could be
no. Like in all honesty, they've put out like a few insights from the team, like developer videos, that sort of thing, in the past week or two. It all seems like it's shaping up to be, pun intended, one of their best expansions from what they've seen. And like, me being a full-blown Destiny nut job, like I've watched these videos they do before an expansion for years, and it seems like all signs are pointing towards a good one. If you want to compare it to something like the Sonic cycle. But yeah, it is wild that this is quite, like, to call it coming to an end is a bit of a misnomer. It's the end of a 10-year story saga, but Destiny 2 will continue after this expansion. And they're changing up how seasons and stuff work. So there's some interesting stuff to come even after the release date for this. But yeah, I've got a lot of things about this that I'm looking forward to. A lot of thoughts, a lot of theories. I won't.
Eric Blueberry.
That's right. Like to plug a show that talks about all of that and more that I also host. Yeah, there's a lot of it's basically like all the story threads they've left hanging over the last 10 years. It seems like they're trying to pull them all together and either resolve them or lead off from that into stuff that they'll get to after this. So
this is pretty much the last content or last big content thing they're doing for Destiny, isn't it? Or Destiny 2?
I don't think we've had anything to really say that definitively. Like, they've been doing annual expansion and then 4 seasons for years now. The thing that they've confirmed they're changing is they're going from 4 seasons to 3 what they're calling episodes. So they're like, they'll have more in them, basically. Like, they're saying like seasons would have your seasonal objectives. It'd have like it'd be like every second one there's a new dungeon, and there'd be some stuff like that kind of rotates through the content pipelines. But it sounds like for an episode, they're going to have sort of just more meat on the bone every time they put one out. So that part they've talked about. They haven't really talked about, like, is this the end of annual expansions for Destiny 2? The classic meme question is, will we get a Destiny 3? All of that is up in the air. No one knows anything.
They've got Marathon. I think Marathon is on deck potentially for next year. But obviously, Bungie at this stage would probably be large enough that they could probably do 2 games at once, maybe?
Depends
or maintain Destiny 2.
It also depends what Sony's
I think from like some job listings, they might be working on something else as well.
Oh shit.
Maybe. But yeah, they can certainly like keep, because like Destiny 2 is their main thing still. Like they will continue to put stuff out for this franchise. The exact shape of that we don't know yet.
But we do know the final shape.
Boom. Yes. Yes, we
there you go. Like that. So yeah, that's coming out early. Still Wakes the Deep. This was shown off at Microsoft things during K3 last year, I believe.
I think it was last year, yeah.
Sort of, for lack of a better term, walking simulator under the sea. Developed by the Chinese Room, who I believe did Everybody Comes to the Rapture, off the top of my head. I could be entirely wrong on that, but I know that the Chinese Room has done a couple of sort of, or at least 1 or 2 walking simulator, for lack of a better term, style games. Has a very, like, they do really good art. They do really good graphical, compositional stuff and tell a really interesting story. Hopefully there is, I believe, based on the stuff they teased during those, Microsoft, or during some of those streams, that there's going to be a bit more of a horror / thriller type bent to it. I'm assuming you were confirming Chinese room, everybody goes to the Rapture.
I'm looking at it now. But
or you're just looking at it?
Yeah.
I think it really looks really nice. And it's because it's targeting both PC and the two main current consoles, current gen. It's going to look fucking incredible. And hopefully it sticks the landing on the story they tell, and it's not too slow or plodding on the walking part. Because one of the worst things about those types of games, if it takes fucking ages to walk anywhere, you lose interest real quick.
Yeah, they like one of the, like, not to keep going back to it, but one of the Destiny seasons in the past like cycle involved a lot of underwater traversal. It was like Season of the Deep, and so like we were actually going under the water on Titan.
That sounds cool.
It was actually incredibly. It was an incredibly sick season. There was like some really good story stuff that came out of that, but the thing that really just dragged that season out for me was having to like move through the water a lot, because it's just that slow kind of like moon gravity, but worse kind of feeling. That was probably the only downside to me was that underwater traversal. You have to get that right.
Warhammer 40k bolt gun, the boomer shooter that came out last year, is getting DLC. The Warhammer company, or Games Workshop, are doing, or had their Skulls event, I guess, and announced a bunch of stuff. I played the open beta. I didn't talk about this in what we played, but I played the open beta of their car combat game that is coming out later on the Friday show. And I didn't really like it, but I really, for the most part, like bolt gun. So more DLC for that. Fucking bring it on. That should be really, really cool. Oh yeah, let's go. That almost sounded a bit more sexual than I actually intended it to, but it's Elden Ring. About a good 18 months to 2 years after Elden Ring's release. So I'm curious about how big this expansion actually is, because I think Elden Ring took me about 140 hours to actually get through. But more Elden Rings always is a good thing. And then that will probably free up for, I don't know, Dark Souls 4, or what the fuck are they doing next? I don't know. That's
Armored Core 7.
There you go. Oh, yeah, right. I forgot they did Armored Core. You played a bit of that, didn't you? How, because we never talked about it. I didn't get around to it. Moving on. It's good, right?
Never played it.
Oh, Paul was playing it. Fuck. Never mind. Anyway, God damn it. Ryo Gagatoku, the Yakuza people, or Like a Dragon people, are doing Super Monkey Ball. So Kiryu's going to show up. I don't know.
He better.
Super
That'd be so sick. Put him in one of those
characters. That'd be fucking great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or what's his name? Kazuya? No, whatever his name is. And I don't know. Luigi's Mansion 2, the remake. I figured that kind of probably should be on here. I have not much of an interest in this, Graham.
Neither do I.
But I mean, it's a big game of June. It's one of the few big games of June, at least that's coming. And that right now, I don't have much in the way of idea of sort of what indie games are coming for June at this point.
You never know; they just arrive.
Yeah, sometimes they just arrive. And that's the games of June.
Yep, cool.
So real quick on the must listens tip, Mike, have you listened to the new Pallbearer?
I have not. Pallbearer is not a band I'm super familiar with, if I'm honest.
Their new album Mind Burnt Alive came out about a week and a half ago. That one's pretty good. I don't think it's as good as Heartless, which was the album they did before that. Sort of very old, old Black Sabbath style. Very like doomy. They got a couple of songs that are over 10 minutes. The album itself only has 6 tracks on it, but it still goes for about a good 35, 40 minutes. So that one's really good. And Cognitive Abhorrence, the new Cognitive album, fucking hits. It's super good. Very heavy, very brrr. Which I really Cognitive are fucking great. And yeah, those are the 2 must listens I've got for this week or this time around. Graham.
Yes. Well, that is actually the end of the show. What?
I want to say, yeah.
Yeah, that is the end of the episode 300 of the Should I Play This Game podcast. Once again,
should have bought a party popper.
Once again, big thanks to Mike for taking time out of his Sunday to jump onto this call and have a catch up with us all. Much appreciated. We'll get you back for 400. 20, 26, 27, around the end by the time we do it.
That's how the math works.
We don't do this every week. We do it every couple of weeks now, so we take a lot longer to get through those episodes now.
Yeah.
So sometime in 2026, we'll come back. You'll come back. You'll obviously be at PAX later this year. I'm going to make the assumption, running the show like you normally do.
Running part of it, yeah, unless something changes.
Part of it, yeah. So I'll probably catch up with you there. But thank you again. Thank you again,
Thank you for having me.
Well, plug your podcast? Plug YouTube while you're here.
I'm going to sound like a white guy in my 30s. Which one? So yeah, we've mentioned Error Code Blueberry, all things Destiny 2, largely focusing on sort of the community and positive side of things. And one that I've just sort of kicked off recently with a friend of mine. A couple years ago, I fell deep into a Magic the Gathering hole.
Uh-oh.
So I started a show.
We lost it. Never to come back.
No.
Everything we've done gone.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so he and I a friend of mine and I just started a show called Casual Compliance, which is focusing on the commander format of Magic the Gathering, but talking more about like the list of banned cards and the culture and the philosophy around the game. It's a very interesting space because it's a like semi-official multiplayer form of the game, and there are a lot of really interesting social problems that come out of a thing like that, and that's kind of what we like to think about. A lot of it's just talk to your friends.
Communities having social problems. Get out of town.
Yeah, dude. Both of us have degrees in psychology, so it's very interesting to unpack some of that stuff.
Oh fuck!
But yeah, we've only put out about 3-4 episodes now, so it's fairly fresh. But
is that on YouTube as well?
Had a good time with that. Yes, it is. Yeah, Casual Compliance.
So go look them up, and you can hear more of the Kiwi accent from Mike Jeffcott.
Yes, you can.
My name is Mark Jeffcott. Oh fuck! No, it went South African.
You've lost it. Yeah, you lost it.
Yep. Straight away, I went to go to New Zealand. It came out South African, bro. It's way too easy to go South African, huh? You said Solid Factory this week, Graham?
Yep. Hopefully episode 20 will go up. I've got to edit it, but yeah, hopefully they'll go up.
And then I'll have the Friday show and probably the Saturday show because I don't have much in the way of discipline. And video stuff next week.
Yep, we do that. I don't know what we're going to do. We haven't figured that out yet. We'll figure it out as we get there. But once again, thank you again, Mike. Thanks again, Steve. This is the end of episode 300 of the Should I Play This Game podcast. There is the music.
Bye.
Bye.